And now it's Geraldo Rivera with the Daily Take. Geraldo, you know, we're waiting for this event, and they're doing it in the Rose Garden. Good to see you, because the president said they were going to have a big crowd for Charlie Kirk. I mean, I'm happy to take it any way you want. But one of the things I was thinking of, now that some time has passed, to Brian's point, since the assassination, is like we had all those conversations after that about, you know, being more civil in our discourse and all that kind of thing. I wonder how you think we're doing today as we wait for this to start.
I think we've had, you know, zero change in our manners. It was very fleeting, the impact of it, at least in terms of the general public. I think that the real consequence, though, Connell, and I've been thinking about this, is whether the Charlie Kirk movement, whether Turning Point USA can remain cohesive, can remain together. Can Erica, the widow, who's done an excellent job in terms of her public speaking, you know, and obviously still an object of tremendous veneration and sympathy. But can she be as effective as Charlie was in terms of getting young people mobilized, converting those young men from Democrats to Republicans, or from independents to Republicans, having a kind of a youth surge in the MAGA, you know, world. You know, he was, I think, Charlie Kirk, thinking about it, the most consequential political figure, maybe since Lyndon Johnson in A Great Society, or RFK, and you know, taking his brother's progressive policies forward. But it's that big a deal. I think that can he be replaced? Can his image and his memory and his words and the videos of him, will that be enough to keep the young people tremendously fickle, going over always to the new flavor? Can Turning Point USA continue to turn out tremendous, you know, voting tallies by young men for Republican candidates? But remember, will Turning Point USA stay together going forward without President Trump as the candidate, as the you know, the flag bearer for the Republican Party? But I think also there's still this tremendous sense of sadness that one punk who didn't know what the hell he was about, didn't know what he stood for, was this, he was that. The one thing he did well was to kill, like Lee Harvey Oswald, the one thing he did well was to kill a great person. And I obviously, my sympathy continues to go out to his family and those who loved him, because there's a tremendous loss. Politically, the impact, I think, could be profound, personally, and in terms of how people are responding. You know, remember him. He was a great young man, just 32 years old. It's such a pity, Connell.
Those are good questions you raised, Geraldo, just practically about the movement with regard to young conservatives in this country. And again, this would have been his 32nd birthday. So if you think about the people who are filling in, as it were, for Charlie Kirk on these college campuses, they have the tour still going. I mean, you know, they're much older, for what it's worth. Tucker Carlson or Megyn Kelly or Glenn Beck, whoever it may be. And, you know, I wonder if that was part of his appeal, not all of his appeal, but he, you know, he was a very young guy, and he was inspiring two young people who, you know, pushing more and more of them to the conservative side.
You know, Megyn, Tucker, you know, they're wonderful. Glenn Beck is even older than they. You know, they are wonderful, very successful. You know, they're very skilled. But there was a kind of a visceral thing about Charlie, an authenticity. Not that the others aren't authentic. I don't mean to suggest that. But there was about him truly an authenticity. He was one of a kind. I've been around a very long time, one of the longest, you know, in terms of career longevity that has ever existed in this business. I've seen them all, and I have to tell you that this guy was very special, and his impact was so impressive. And again, when I compare what he did historically with the way he was in the green room at Fox and so forth, you know, it is amazing to me that this guy, this kid, and he was a kid. He started 18 years old.
Yeah.
Could have such a tremendous impact. And I think that obviously he will be a martyr for the cause, for the MAGA cause, or maybe broader than that. But I don't know that a martyr can have the same impact as a living, breathing Charlie Kirk. Tell me why I'm wrong. So.
Yeah.
We'll see where this goes.
I was going to say the old cliche, time will tell. We'll see, but it's an interesting question in the midst of all of this. We'll cover this event live at the White House from the Rose Garden as soon as it starts, which could be any moment. They set it for 4 o'clock, but we knew it would be a few minutes after that. Geraldo, one other thing as we go here is plays all into kind of a larger conversation anyway. There's some news today on it. President Trump and the media on a larger scale. Two things. One, the news from the Pentagon, which we'll get to in a moment. But two, at this event he had earlier this afternoon, he really went after particularly ABC News for an interview that was done with the vice president saying this.
Like JD went through a very friendly interview with George Slopadopoulos, who was nice enough to pay me $16 million the last time we came. He had to pay $16 million to me. ABC fake news.
Mr. President,
First
of all, congratulations.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news.
All right, so that, he's not taking questions from ABC, comes on the same day there's a deadline over at the Pentagon of less than an hour from now, top of the next hour, I think, where I don't think any major news organizations that are in any way considered credible are going to sign it, but there was this pledge that people are supposed to sign with new rules, including how non-public information would be covered. Again, nobody, except for that One America News outfit, I think, is signing it. But what do you make of where we stand, Trump and the media?
I lament it. It's so distasteful, the browbeating. When he singles out reporters, Jonathan Karl, I remember one recent one, it's so insulting. It's like your mother wears combat boots and you're a punk and your organization is fake and you're all a bunch of this or that. I wonder, it reminds me so much, we're about the same age, the president and I, and we come from around the same place. Obviously, a different economic background, but I get the instinct to say in the most pejorative, insulting way you can, throwing in ethnicity and your looks and you're fat and you're skinny and you're this or that. I understand the instinct from the 50s. But it really, 50, 60 years later, it's the worst thing about President Trump.
Was the mother wears combat boots a big one for you growing up, Geraldo?
Yeah, really bad. But coming, makes it really bad. It comes after the day that he was triumphant
yes.
in the world, on the world stage. Here he is. I've one totally off the topic, if I may. I had a eureka moment. Why are they not surrendering the bodies of the 28 slain hostages? Why is it? I understand the excuse or the reason. It's hard, the rubble and the this and the that, and the state of the bodies decomposed and all that. Or is it that they don't want access to those corpses necessarily, because maybe there was mistreatment involved that
right.
could show up forensically, it's that's pure speculation. I just wanted to share it because we're so close.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was, and then the comments about Hamas disarming today I thought were interesting as well. We'll continue to have that conversation, Geraldo. We're waiting for the event at the White House. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.